Hello and welcome to the Completely Biased Podcast. We're at the poker table. That means we're doing a podcast. I'm sitting across from Trevor. Trevor, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We had some sad news. Just start the show. We just want to give our condolences to Roy Halladay. Passed away yesterday. Kind of a freak accident. What?
It's extremely sad. He was definitely one of my favorite players to watch growing up. I'm sure nobody's going to forget that the no-hitter in 2010 in the playoffs. Something that most of us have only seen that one time in our lifetime. Don Larson did it like 80 years ago. So yeah. But that's just
part of great teams.
Yeah.
Always a great pitcher. At the end of his career, he was kind of banged up and stuff, and was kind of didn't go like his. I'm sure his retirement and stuff didn't go the way he planned it, but he'd been great for so long.
He'll be for sure Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he's probably, other than Pedro Martinez, he's probably the best pitcher of the early 2000s, or he's up there at least.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, Randy Johnson did a lot in the 90s though too.
Yeah, but yeah, great pitcher and just hard thoughts and prayers out to his family, and you don't that's 2 years in a row where some freak accidents happened.
I know,
in baseball.
It's so sad.
But moving on from that, we are gonna be starting the show today with some MLB talk. So we just had the World Series, Houston Astros winning the World Series. We just had that last week.
What about Houston Astros winning the World Series and then 15 hours later Deshaun Watson tears his ACL?
I know. Well,
that's the saddest or the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
In practice.
Oh, man.
So that's another
I feel so bad.
We're not talking about this in particular today, but I think that's just one thing is I think why baseball and NBA are going to be trending upwards in the next few years and football is going to be trending downwards is because people have career. This is not going to be career ending for Deshaun Watson, but this could be career altering for sure.
It could be, yeah.
And
I hope not. He's so fun to watch.
And it's just in practice, he just bam, ACL, and that can happen in every sport too. But why would kids go into a sport in football where they can just they look down the year whenever I'm 50, I'm not going to be able to walk or anything like that. Why would I not play baseball? And that's why we have so many great young players in baseball and football. It's just, or not baseball and basketball. It's because. Again, thoughts out to Deshaun Watson because he was having an amazing rookie year and he looks every bit as promising as everyone thought he was going to be. And
he looked better, I thought.
Yeah, and I was mad that when we didn't go for him in the draft.
Yeah.
But
Trubisky looks good, but I was mad when we didn't go for him in the draft.
He looks really, really good. And with today's medicine and stuff, I'm sure he'll be fine. But if you look back to RG3, it's a good thing that Deshaun Watson's not as reliant on his legs as an RG3 was. Because RG3, when he had those knee injuries, it just completely changed everything.
And RG3 couldn't really learn how to be a pocket passer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Deshaun Watson's more of a pocket passer already right now.
Absolutely,
he's more of a Dak.
Yes, I agree.
So, anyways, we're going to talk about MLB awards. So the finalists for all the awards were announced. We have the Gold Glove winners and stuff already, but today we're going to be talking about MVP, Cy Young, Rookies of the Year, and Manager of the Year awards, and kind of what our picks are. So the way it works in baseball, if you do not know, you have MVP for AL and NL, and the same goes for every other award. So you have AL, NL awards. Mm-hmm. So they separated like that because they are different leagues.
Yes.
It's more than just different conferences or something in basketball. Right. It's actually different leagues.
They play 162 games and 100 of them are in your own league.
Yeah,
so you're playing almost
different rules.
Games. Right.
All right. So I want to save the MVP talk for last. Let's start off with Rookie of the Year. So for American League, American League Rookie of the Year finalists, we got Andrew Benintendi, which is a really hard name to pronounce, Aaron Judge, and Trey Mancini. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yep. Trey Mancini? All right, so I think this is a runaway winner.
It's Aaron Judge, unanimous, no question.
And I think this is for both sides. AL and NL, it's a lot of runaway winners here.
Well,
but
the crazy thing is Andrew Benintendi had such a good year, and it's just Aaron Judge.
It's just It's unfortunate that he also landed in the same year that Aaron Judge was rookie.
Yeah.
So I just want to let's talk a little bit more about this because it is a runaway winner, but just talk about how much of a beast Aaron Judge was his rookie year.
It was. I mean, the strikeouts.
Of course, the Yankees get him.
Yeah,
of course the Yankees get him.
The strikeouts are a serious problem, but putting that just aside.
Both
for
rookies.
Second,
both. I mean, what we talk about when we get to NL, but they struggle with strikeouts.
I mean, Aaron Judge struck out. I can't think of the number. I want to say it was 34 straight games or something like that. And he set the record.
In the Astros series, it looked like he was just at times he looked really, really good, and at times he looked like he didn't even. Well, he'd never played baseball.
His best play was robbing a home run. That was his best play the whole series.
He looks amazing at points, but he's a rookie, so you can't really hold it against him too much. But
no, I'm not going.
When he was in the playoffs, he was sometimes he just didn't look like he knew how to play baseball.
Yeah, he's great. It's funny. He had the 2 great months, then he was terrible for a month and a half, and then he was even better for the last month of the season, which was insane. Yeah, but he's a great player.
What a freak of nature too.
He looks like a defensive end, man.
Him and Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh my goodness!
It's just
they're huge.
No wonder they hit 50 home runs a year. Insane. Anyways, so National League, we already kind of said what we both think the winner is, and I think it's a runaway winner here. But the nominees are Josh Bell, Cody Bellinger, and Paul DeJong. And again, here, it's unfortunate for the other two, but Cody Bellinger is going to win this award. I mean,
he was again
phenomenal, and a great player on the World Series team.
He came in and I remember this because I play fantasy baseball, and I was thinking about picking him up, and they were like, "Well, Adrian Gonzalez is only out for 10 days, so he's going to come for 10 days, and we're send him right back down." Mm-hmm. Well, he came up and hit 400 in those 10 days. So we'll keep him in the lineup, and he just never got out of it. He worked his way up to number 3 in the order, or 4, 3 in the order, and never relinquished it.
Yeah, I mean, 39 home runs as a rookie.
39 home runs as a rookie, and he didn't play for most of April.
Yeah. What was Aaron Judge's final home run count? Was it in the?
It was in the 40s.
Okay, so
maybe
think about this. This year we had 2 rookies hit 40 home runs.
I'm sorry, 52.
52.
Aaron Judge had 52.
Aaron Judge had 52 home runs.
39,
right?
Yeah.
Aaron Judge had 52 home runs, and Cody Bellinger, nowhere near as good, 39 in his rookie year. And they both have their problems with strikeouts. Bellinger broke the world, like he said. Aaron Judge broke the regular season. Bellinger broke the World Series record over and over and over again.
What happened? That happened with Chris Bryant a couple of years ago. Chris Bryant struck out a ton, but I mean, he won MVP the following year.
Yeah,
so.
It's like a give and take with these power hitters too. Yeah. And I think Cody Bellinger is going to be a Gold Glover in the future, just because he's such a good athlete at first base.
Mm-hmm. He was an outfielder.
And
then he moved to first.
I'm wondering if he stays at first base because he could definitely play other positions. Just because athlete he is, but
it really just, I think it's going to depend on. I mean, if they get an up and coming first baseman or something like that, they can move him to left field or right field, and he'll be perfectly fine. If they need to get rid of Puig or something like that, they can just move him to right field.
I mean, he made a play. I was watching in the Diamondback series. I was watching a lot, every single game. But he made a play in that Diamondback series where I was just like, "Is that really a first baseman?" Because he ran over, made almost a half diving grab, and then turned around and got back to the bag before the guy got down to first base. And I was like, that's a first baseman? What? He's moving like he's a shortstop or something.
He's no David Ortiz or Ryan Howard.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Bell and Paul DeJong. I mean, Josh Bell was great. He's a switch hitter. He had a really good year for the Pirates. I think the biggest thing is that he plays for the Pirates. So nobody really gave him the benefit of the doubt with anything that he did. But I think he's going to be a good player, being able to switch hit. He hit 26 home runs, had 90 RBIs, so that's pretty good. The rookie class wasn't great. That's why I think Paul DeJong got in there. He's fine. He's a fine player. He'll be an everyday middle infielder.
Yeah, I mean, he's a normal rookie. Yes. He's not a freak like some of these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so now let's move on to the Manager of the Year awards. For American League, we've got Terry Francona, AJ Hinch, and Paul Molitor. So who you got here?
This one's a lot tougher. I mean, AJ Hinch, I know the awards were voted for before the playoffs, so obviously the Astros winning the World Series has nothing to do with the voting. He was great being able to get all these guys to play together after they missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but I mean, they did have like really, really good talent, though.
They did. And Paul Molitor took the team that won 58 games last year to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I think
this is the hardest decision on this entire list.
Yeah, I like that one more. I'm going to go with Paul Molitor.
Terry Francona's always in there for
He's one of the best managers in baseball. He's one of the best managers in baseball history.
It's like that Greg Popovich thing where he's always he's always in the conversation, but he never really actually wins it.
I'd pick Paul Molitor, although I do think AJ Hinch is going to win.
Yeah, I'd go with Molitor too, just because who expected the Twins to be anywhere near the playoffs?
Not me.
I mean, and another thing is it's not like AJ Hinch has household names for the Astros.
Yeah,
Molitor not so much. The Twins don't really have big household names.
Yeah,
well, at least not yet. I mean,
other than Brian Dozier, they've got. Byron Buxton. Sorry, great center fielder for him, but him and
no
Dozier,
giant stars.
No.
And
they also play in Minnesota, which doesn't really help the cause.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, Terry Francona plays in Cleveland, and he's got stars.
Yeah, but they weren't in the World Series last year, and they've won 22 games in a row this year, which is also something we didn't really talk about. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's like that Greg Popovich.
They all deserve it.
Yeah, they all deserve it, but I would go with Molitor too. And any one of these people that win it, I wouldn't be upset. Okay, so National League, I've got a horse in the race here. We've got Bud Black, Torey Lovullo, and Dave Roberts. And personally, I'm going for my guy Torey Lovullo just because he's Arizona, and I think he probably the same thing with the Minnesota Twins. It's taking a team that no one was expecting, even though the Diamondbacks have way more star power than the Twins do. They no one was expecting them to do anything this year, and they kind of surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to them as well.
And good thing the playoffs don't really count for much because we got destroyed in the playoffs. But the regular season, a giant step for this.
Yeah, Torey Lovullo, he completely deserves it. Bud Black deserves it. The Rockies did have 4 rookie pitchers at one time, which is crazy. They started a rookie pitcher for 26 or 27 straight games.
And the Rockies is another team no one really expected to be great.
Right. The thing is, the Rockies have great hitters. They've got Arenado, Charlie Blackmon, Mark Reynolds had a great year for him. Trevor Story, although he strikes out a crap load, he can hit. He's got killer power.
Don't you love it how
DJ LeMahieu? They're
finally good and Cargo sucks.
I know, right? It's so weird. It's been a terrible year.
You've always been on the Carlos Gonzalez thing, and I've always been no, he sucks.
Yeah, last 2 years, no, he's been pretty bad. Although, he's a free agent, so I guess we'll find out
maybe
now.
New scenery.
He's going to sign a 1-year deal and try and get paid. But, Dave Roberts, I know your team had the best record in baseball, but
is there something we said that just actually, if they had kept the same pace, they had that really, really bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
But
if they had won 115 games or whatever it was, you have to give it to them. But they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't end up having that historic year. They had a really, really good year. Mm-hmm. But
and like I said with Molitor, I like the teams that go from nothing to something. That's what I like in my manager of the year.
Yeah, good job, Torey Lovullo. Good job, and also good job to our GM.
Yeah,
really helping us out there. All right, do you want to go with Cy Young first or MVP, or save MVP for last?
Yeah, save MVP for last. We'll do Cy Young.
All right, Cy Young. Let's start in the National League here. All right, for the Cy Young, I think this is. So we got Clayton Kershaw from the Dodgers, Max Scherzer from Washington, and Steven Strasburg also from Washington. Crazy that Washington had 2 Cy Young.
It's kind of funny. Last year the Cubs had 2, and the Nationals had 1. This year now the Nationals have 2, and the Dodgers have 1. Maybe just next year.
So who's your favorite here?
I'm going to go with Max Scherzer, and that's because nothing against what Kershaw did. Kershaw was better, but he missed a month and a half during the season, so that takes him out of the running for me. Steven Strasburg is phenomenal and probably my favorite pitcher in baseball, but he got blown up like 5 times.
Good thing he's finally actually able to stay on the mound.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, they were talking about who should we pay, Strasburg or Harper. And they're like, well, Harper's more durable, but then they paid Strasburg, and now Harper can't stay on the field, which is hilarious. But,
I mean,